We gather here at this beautiful and yet haunting location at the National Cemetery, and we gather here to say our final goodbyes to Bill. We're glad that you're here. When we think of Bill, we think of someone who was a devoted husband, a loving father, a faithful friend, and a devout disciple of Jesus. So we're going to say final goodbyes, but let's go ahead and begin by praying. Gracious God, how grateful we are that from before time began, you lovingly set the days of Bill's life in front of you. While he was yet in his mother's womb, you formed his unseen body. And for the last 80 plus years, you prepared him to be received into your presence. And so we ask in these few moments that your Spirit will descend on us and that we would experience the peace that comes from you. We ask this in Jesus' name. Amen. Amen. For generations, people have found themselves in a place like this, in a station like this, in a moment in time where they're saying goodbye to their loved ones. And again throughout the generations, people have found the words of Scripture to be affirming and peace offering in a place where hope is found. And when we look at the biblical witness, we think of Job, who amidst all of the confusion and chaos and turmoil and pain, in light of all that, he says these words, I know that my Redeemer lives. Bill knew that. And we stand here in this place, confident of that. The Apostle Paul, looking at an uncertain future, unknowing what's next. What does he say? He says this. He says, if we live, we live in the Lord. If we die, we die in the Lord. But we are in the Lord. Jesus, as he looks across at his disciples, they're bewildered, they're confused. And he says these words, do not be afraid. I am with you always. Do not be afraid. I'm the first and the last. I am the living one. I was dead, but because I live, you will live also. Today, we're going to honor Bill, and his remains will remain here. But we all have a confidence, don't we? A confidence that his remains, earthly remains, will be here, but he is with the Lord. Bill was one who proudly served in the Air Force, as you all know, and he earned the privilege of military honors here at National Cemetery. And so I invite the guard to express that through the ceremony.
We veterans have gathered here today to pay our final tribute of honor and respect to a departed comrade. We call all veterans comrade or friend because they, like us, were willing to step forward and serve our country, ensuring for us the freedoms that we all enjoy today. But only a person who has served his country honorably is entitled to have this flag present on this occasion. This flag that for the 234-year history of this country, there's been thousands of men and women that have answered that call. And we know that when this country had need of him, Bill was willing to set his civilian life aside to follow this flag to serve his country. He was willing, if necessary, to make the ultimate sacrifice. And greater love has no man than he that is willing to lay down his life for his friends. We esteem all veterans. We don't distinguish between what branch of service they were in, what rank they held, what duties they performed, whether they served during times of actual combat or during times of relative peace. It takes all to defend this great country of ours. We only hope that this short ceremony here today reflects the honor and the esteem that we hold for all veterans, living and deceased. In just a moment, we're going to be firing 3 volleys followed by taps. Those of you care to join in this final salute, the civilian salute is the right hand over the heart. And those with prior military service are entitled to render the hand salute. But a little word of caution, these rifles are very loud, and with this configuration here, you get a lot of echo, so it's going to be real loud. So if you got very sensitive ears, you may even want to cover them. But at this time, if you're not physically handicapped, then we'd ask that you please rise.
Riders, 10 foot.
Reset, huh!
8, 5, 8, 5, 8, 5, 3, set, 4.
Order, you may be seated.